My girlfriend said, I'm going to brunch with the girls, then posted stories with her ex all day. When I asked about it, she said, you're being controlling, he's part of the friend group now. I didn't argue. That night, I packed my bags and left. Now I, 28 male, have been with Jessica, 26, for 3 years. We moved in together 18 months ago, split everything 50-50 on a 2-bedroom in downtown. I thought we were solid. 2 weeks ago, Saturday morning, Jessica's getting ready, doing that thing where she tries on 3 outfits but ends up wearing the first one. Says she's meeting the girls for bottomless mimosas. Cool. I had plans to catch up on work anyway. Noon rolls around. I'm on the couch, laptop open, when her Instagram story pops up. There's Jessica, laughing at some rooftop bar. But it's not just the girls, there's Richard. Her ex. The one she dated for 4 years. The one who broke her heart when he moved to Seattle for work. The one who apparently moved back 3 months ago, but she forgot to mention it. The stories kept coming. Group shots, but also just them. Sharing food. Him fixing her necklace. That specific kind of touching that's technically innocent, but absolutely isn't. I screenshot everything. Not because I'm crazy, because I've learned to document things. She gets home around 4 p.m. tipsy and glowing. I'm still on the couch. How was brunch with the girls? Amazing. Becca ordered like 3 desserts. Cool. Who else was there? She lists names, doesn't mention Richard. Anyone else? Nope, just us girls. Why? I show her the screenshots. Her face does this thing. Surprise, then annoyance, then that practiced look of righteous indignation. Were you stalking my stories? They're public, Jessica. Richard is part of our friend group now. The girls invited him. I didn't think it was a big deal. You literally just said it was only girls. Because I knew you'd overreact. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You're being controlling. He's just a friend now. We're adults. If you can't handle me having male friends. I let her finish the speech. Then I said, okay. Yeah, you're right. I'm being controlling. She looked confused but pleased. Kissed me on the forehead. I'm glad you see that. I'm going to shower. While she showered, I did 3 things. Checked our lease. It was the original lease from before she moved in, now month to month. My name was the only one on it. We'd always meant to add her, but life got in the way. It was a loose end I was suddenly very grateful for. Texted my buddy Joseph, who owns a storage unit business. Started packing, not dramatically, methodically. My important documents first, then electronics, then clothes. Everything I could fit in my car without it being obvious. Jessica came out towel drying her hair. Didn't notice the half-empty closet. Didn't notice my missing laptop setup. Just asked what I wanted for dinner. Whatever you want, I said. I'm easy. We ordered Thai. Watched Netflix. She fell asleep on my shoulder like nothing had happened. I stayed up thinking about the 3 years, the plans we'd made, the ring I'd started saving for. At 3 a.m., I got up. Packed the rest. Left a note. You're right. I am controlling. So, I'm removing myself from the equation. Rent's paid through the end of the month. Your stuff is safe. Please be out by the 30th. I drove to Joseph's place. He'd cleared out his spare room months ago after his divorce. Funny how things work out. My phone started blowing up around 7 a.m. What the fuck, David? You can't just leave. Where are you? This is so immature. We need to talk about this like adults. I didn't respond. Changed my relationship status to single. That's when things got interesting. Within an hour, I had messages from mutual friends. Jessica was spinning it hard. According to her, I'd had a paranoid episode and abandoned her because she had male friends. She was the victim of my toxic masculinity. I still didn't respond, but I did post the screenshots. All of them. With one caption. For clarity. The narrative shifted real quick. Update 1. She showed up at my office. It's been 5 days since I left. I've been staying at Joseph's, focusing on work, hitting the gym at 5 a.m., trying to establish a routine. It was working. Until yesterday. I'm in a meeting with 3 clients when our receptionist knocks. Says someone's here for me. Says it's urgent. I excuse myself. Walk to the lobby. There's Jessica, but not regular Jessica. This is Jessica in full performance mode. Hair perfect, makeup subtle but effective. Wearing that dress I bought her for her birthday. The one she knows I love. David, please, 5 minutes. I'm in a meeting. I'll wait. No, you won't. Please leave. Her voice gets louder. You can't just ghost me after 3 years. We lived together. People are starting to look. My boss walks by, raises an eyebrow. Fine, 5 minutes. Conference room B. We sit. She starts crying immediately. Not loud, ugly crying. Pretty crying. The kind she can turn on and off. I'm sorry I lied about Richard, but you have to understand. I don't have to understand anything. He means nothing to me. Then why lie? Because I knew you'd react like this. Like what? By calmly leaving a situation where I'm being lied to? You abandoned me. I came home from work and all your stuff was gone. Do you know how that felt? Probably similar to how I felt seeing you with your ex after you said you were with the girls. It wasn't like that. The group decided, Jessica, stop. We both know what this is. Her tears dry up instantly. What's that supposed to mean? It means I'm not doing this. You have 3 weeks to find a new place. If you need help with deposit money, I'll transfer it. But we're done. You'll regret this. Maybe. But that's my problem, not yours. She stood up, smoothed her dress. You know what? Richard was right about you. I'm sure he was. He said you were insecure, that you'd freak out the moment I had any male friends. Is that what he said when he was fixing your necklace? Her face went red. She left without another word. I went back to my meeting, apologized for the interruption, closed the deal, pretended my hands weren't shaking. That night, the texts started again. But not from Jessica. From Richard. Richard, hey man, heard you and Jessica split. That's rough. If you want to talk, I'm here. I actually laughed. The audacity. I screenshot it naturally. I know things look bad, but nothing happened. We're just friends. She loves you, dude. Don't throw it away over jealousy. You there? I finally responded. If you're really just friends, you won't mind if I send these messages to your girlfriend? See, I did some digging. Richard isn't single. He's been dating some girl named Barbara for 8 months. Her Instagram is full of them, cute couples stuff. No mention of him hanging out with his ex, Richard. What girlfriend? Me. Barbara? Tall brunette? Yoga instructor? Ring any bells? Read receipts on. No response. 20 minutes later, Jessica calls 15 times in a row. I let it go to voicemail. The one she leaves is enlightening. You fucking asshole. You had no right to contact Richard. You're ruining his life over nothing. We were just friends. But clearly you're too pathetic and insecure to understand that men and women can be platonic. I feel sorry for whatever girl ends up with you next. She'll have to deal with your trust issues and paranoia. I'm done trying to save us. Stay away from me and my friends. Her friends, including the ex she was just friends with, who apparently has a girlfriend he forgot to mention. I forwarded the voicemail to my lawyer buddy, just in case. Update 2, the lease situation got complicated. Remember how I said only my name was on the lease? Well, Jessica found a loophole. Got a call from my landlord yesterday. Jessica contacted him, claiming she's been paying half the rent for 18 months, and that establishes tenancy rights. He called to give me a heads up, said his hands were tied, and he couldn't take sides. But he did say, in our state, that means you can't just kick her out. You have to formally evict, which takes 30 to 90 days. She's talking about getting mail there to prove residency. It's getting messy. You should protect yourself. He was right. Jessica was digging in. To prove her tenancy, she'd have to show proof of payment. I knew she'd use Venmo. I opened the app, my heart pounding. I have access to our entire transaction history. I scrolled back, and there it was. Mixed in with 18 months of rent and utilities were some interesting transactions she'd sent to Richard. For last night, $200. B-Day surprise for R, $150. Wine for the weekend, $100. All dated within the last 3 months. All during times she was supposedly working late or at her sister's. I did what I do best. I documented. I compiled everything into a neat little spreadsheet. Dates, times, claimed locations versus actual locations, money spent, lies told. Then I waited. This morning, Jessica's mom called. We always got along well. She's good people. Taught elementary school for 30 years. Doesn't bullshit. David, I'm not calling to take sides, but I need to know, is Jessica safe? Of course she's safe. Why wouldn't she be safe? She's been telling people you're stalking her. That you hacked her accounts. That she's scared. I see. I don't believe her for what it's worth. In 30 years of teaching, you learn to spot liars, even when they're your own kid. I appreciate that, Susan. Can I ask what really happened? I told her. Not dramatically, just facts. She was quiet for a long time. That explains Richard suddenly being around again. Yeah. David? Yeah? I'm sorry. I raised her better than this. You did great, Susan. People make their own choices. After we hung up, I felt lighter somehow. Validation from unexpected places hits different. Jessica must have sensed the shift in momentum because the texts started again. But now they're different. Less angry, more bargaining. Can we please just talk? I know I messed up, but 3 years, David. I'll go to couples counseling. I'll cut Richard off completely. Please don't throw us away. I didn't respond, but I did check apartment listings, found a nice studio downtown, month to month. Sometimes the best move is to just remove yourself from the board entirely. Then, plot twist. Barbara reached out. Hi, you don't know me, but I think we need to talk. Hey, yeah, I think we do. Can you meet tomorrow? Coffee? Sure. When and where? We're meeting in 6 hours. Should be interesting. Update 3. The coffee meeting changed everything. Met Barbara this morning at a Starbucks downtown. Recognized her immediately. She looks exhausted. The kind of tired that comes from finding out your whole relationship is a lie. She's already at a corner table when I arrive. 2 coffees in front of her. I got you a black coffee. Richard mentioned you don't do sugar. Richard talks about me? She laughs. It's bitter. Oh, he talks about you a lot. The insecure ex who can't handle Jessica having male friends. The controlling guy who made her miserable. The reason she needed a shoulder to cry on. Sounds about right? Yeah, except she pulls out her phone. I did some digging after you messaged him. She shows me texts. Dozens of them. Between Richard and Jessica, going back months, I had his Apple ID for Find My iPhone. Forgot I could see his messages on my iPad. The texts are damning. Richard, last night was incredible. David is working late Thursday. I miss how we used to be. Soon, baby. And worse. Way worse. Plans, promises, photos I really didn't need to see. How long, I ask. 4 months at least, maybe longer. He got a new phone in July, so that's as far back as I can see. We sit in silence for a minute. 2 strangers bonded by shitty partners. What are you gonna do? I ask. Already done. Kicked him out last night. Changed the locks. His shit's in storage. The code is his mom's birthday. He'll figure it out. Clean. What about you? Working on getting her out. It's complicated. She nods, then slides a flash drive across the table. Everything's on there. Screenshots of the texts, the dates, the times. My lawyer said it's all solid if you need it. Why? Because fuck them, but also, she looks tired again. Richard has been telling everyone you're some psycho ex who's stalking them. Jessica's backing him up. They're building a narrative. You need ammunition. Thanks, really. Don't thank me yet, there's more. She shows me Jessica's Instagram. A post from an hour ago. It's a statement, a long one, about surviving emotional abuse, about controlling partners, about finding the strength to leave. The comments are flooded with support. Hundreds of them. But here's the kicker. She hasn't left. She's still in my apartment, playing victim while squatting in my space. She's trying to get ahead of the story, Barbara says. Richard taught her that. Control the narrative first. Truth doesn't matter. Jesus, yeah. Oh, and David? That conference in Denver, she wasn't there. Neither was Richard. They went to Cabo. I have receipts. Literally. Richard saved them for his expense reports. We talked for another hour. Compared notes, built a timeline. It's worse than I thought. The gaslighting, the triangulation, the way they played us against each other. When we finally leave, Barbara hugs me. We're gonna be okay, she says. Might take a while, but we'll be okay. I drive back to Joseph's feeling vindicated, angry, empty, all of the above, but I also have a plan now, a real one. First step, lawyer. Showed him everything. The lease, the Venmo history, Barbara's evidence, Jessica's social media campaign. His response, oh, this is good. This is really good. He explained that a standard eviction is slow, but Jessica's public posts changed the game. We can't get an immediate eviction, but we can file for an emergency order to vacate. She's publicly claiming you're an abuser while simultaneously refusing to leave your shared and legally your domicile. That creates a legally hostile and untenable situation. A judge will see that. It's not about the infidelity, it's about the defamation combined with the squatting. How long? The hearing for the order will be scheduled within days. With this, we have a strong case, and David, start documenting everything. Every interaction, every post, every witness. She's escalating. People who lie this easily don't stop. He was right. By the time I got back to Joseph's, Jessica had posted again. This time, a photo of her at her apartment, my apartment, a selfie, talking about reclaiming her space and not being driven from her home by an abuser. The comments are getting wilder, people offering to come protect her. Others sharing their own survival stories. Then I noticed something. A small detail, but everything is in the details. In the background of her selfie, on the counter. A bottle of expensive whiskey, Richard's brand, and 2 glasses. A sloppy, arrogant mistake. She's not just staying there, she's entertaining. I text my lawyer the screenshot. His response is immediate. Document that. Timestamp it. That's Exhibit A for why the emergency order is necessary. She's not scared, she's celebrating. So here I am. It's 2 a.m. I'm in Joseph's spare room typing this out because I can't sleep, and I need to tell someone, anyone, how insane this has gotten. 3 weeks ago, I thought I was going to marry this woman. Now I'm building a legal case against her while she turns me into social media's villain of the week. But you know what the worst part is? I keep thinking about that morning, before the brunch, when she was trying on outfits, laughing about something her sister texted, kissing me goodbye like it was any other Saturday. How do you fake that? How do you look someone in the eye, someone you've shared a bed with for 3 years, and just lie? Not even feel bad about it? I don't know. Maybe I'll never know. What I do know is this. In 12 hours, my lawyer files for the emergency hearing. Her little social media campaign is about to meet a court clerk, and every single person who's been commenting support on her posts is about to get a very different story. Because I'm done being quiet. Done taking the high road. Done pretending this is just a normal breakup. She wants to play victim? Fine, but victims don't usually have 4 months of affair evidence stacked against them. Final update tomorrow after the hearing. If my lawyer's right, this is about to get very interesting. Final update, it's over, mostly. The hearing was this morning. 9 a.m. I wore my best suit, brought everything. The binder my lawyer prepared was thick enough to stop a door. Jessica showed up 20 minutes late with Richard because of course she did. She wore all black, like she was in mourning, trying to project vulnerability. The judge was an older woman, no nonsense, the kind who's heard every possible story. My lawyer laid it out cleanly. This wasn't a standard eviction hearing. This was a petition for an emergency order to grant the sole leaseholder exclusive possession of his home due to the occupant's creation of a hostile and defamatory environment. He presented the lease with only my name. Jessica's social media posts where she called me an abuser. The screenshot of her selfie with Richard's whiskey in the background, time-stamped while she was claiming to be in fear. Barbara's flash drive, which my lawyer submitted as evidence of a coordinated campaign of deception. The look on Jessica's face when the judge reviewed the photo of the whiskey glasses. When my lawyer brought up the Cabo receipts, proving a premeditated affair, not a simple friendship. Her lawyer tried to argue. He talked about tenant rights, about emotional distress. Judge Davis cut him off. Counselor, your client has publicly accused Mr. Peterson of abuse, a very serious claim. Yet she not only continues to reside in his home, she appears to be entertaining guests. She can't claim both to be a terrified victim and a comfortable tenant in the same breath. It undermines her credibility entirely. Jessica's lawyer asked for a recess. They huddled in the corner. Jessica kept shooting looks at me. Not angry anymore. Panicked. When they came back, her lawyer stated they would agree to vacate the premises within 48 hours if I would drop any future defamation claims. My lawyer looked at me. I could have pushed for more. But I just wanted it to be over. 48 hours. All her belongings out. Professional cleaning afterward at her expense. And her social media posts making the accusations must be deleted immediately. The judge made it so. Jessica signed the agreement without looking at me. As we were leaving, Richard blocked my path in the hallway. He had the gall to look sympathetic. Hey man, for what it's worth, I'm sore. Save it, Richard. How's Barbara, by the way? His face went blank. What? We had coffee, compared notes. She's doing great. Change the locks, I hear. Put your stuff in storage. The The code is your mom's birthday in case she forgot to tell you. He went pale. He started to say something, but his phone buzzed. He glanced at it, a look of pure dread on his face. It buzzed again. Jessica grabbed his arm. We need to go. They left together. The ex who meant nothing. The guy who was just part of the friend group. My lawyer clapped me on the back. Clean win. How do you feel? Honestly, empty. Not sad. Not happy. Just done. I went back to work. Told my boss I'd need the next 2 days off to supervise the move out. He said to take the week. Good companies remember who shows up even when their life's imploding. That was 6 hours ago. Since then, Jessica's Instagram posts about me have been deleted. Then her whole account went private. Richard blocked me on everything. Barbara texted, heard from a friend the posts are down, good for you. Joseph ordered pizza and beer, well, pizza and soda for me. My mom called. She'd seen the original post through a cousin. Was worried. I told her the truth. She just said, I never liked her anyway. The apartment will be mine again in 48 hours. I'll deep clean it, maybe repaint. Definitely getting a new bed. But right now, I'm sitting on Joseph's back porch. It's quiet, I can hear the city in the distance. And for the first time in 3 weeks, I'm not angry. I'm not checking my phone. I'm not documenting anything. I'm just here. Jessica was right about one thing. Love does make people crazy. It makes them trust when they shouldn't. Forgive when they shouldn't. Stay when they should leave. But it also shows you who people really are. And sometimes the person you loved never existed at all. They were just better at pretending than you were at seeing. To everyone who messaged asking for updates, this is it. Story's over. Well, mostly. Still got to get through the move out. Still might have some fallout. But the war, that's done. I won. I think. If you can call this winning. Maybe in a few months, I'll feel victorious. Right now I just feel tired, but also a little bit free. She texted, I need space. Don't call, don't text, don't exist for a while. I wrote, done. Then I gave her permanent space by returning every gift she'd ever given me to her doorstep. Her mother's call asking why 40 boxes were blocking their driveway. Original post I, 29 male, got the text at 11:43 p.m. on a Thursday. My girlfriend Natalie, 27, and I had been together for 4 years, living together for 2. The message was cold, clinical. I need space. Don't call, don't text, don't exist for a while. I'll reach out when I'm ready to talk. No context, no explanation. We'd had dinner together 6 hours earlier. She kissed me goodbye when I left for my night shift at the warehouse. Everything seemed normal. I stared at my phone in the break room, read it 3 times. My coworker Dennis asked if I was okay. I showed him the text. Damn bro, that's harsh. Yeah, it was. I typed back one word, done. Then I went back to work. Finished my shift. Drove home at 7 a.m. to an empty apartment. Her overnight bag was gone. Some clothes missing from the closet. Her toothbrush gone from the bathroom. She'd planned this. Packed while I was at work. Sent the text knowing I couldn't come home to talk. I sat on our couch. Well, my couch that she'd picked out. And looked around. 4 years of relationships scattered everywhere. Picture frames, her books mixed with mine on the shelves. The throw pillows she insisted we needed. The coffee maker she bought me for my birthday. The gaming headset she got me for Christmas. The watch she gave me for our anniversary. Everything had her fingerprints on it. She wanted space? She wanted me to not exist? Alright then. I started in the living room. The throw pillows went into a box. The picture frames. Every single one with us in it. Into another box. The books she'd given me. The vinyl records she'd surprised me with. The houseplants she'd picked out. All of it. Box after box after box. The bedroom was harder. The cologne she liked. The dress shirts she'd bought because you need to dress better for date nights. The cufflinks. The ties. The leather jacket for my birthday last year that I actually loved, but it was from her. I found stuff I'd forgotten about. Movie ticket stubs she'd saved and framed. A journal she'd given me that I'd never used. Concert tickets she'd surprised me with. Gift cards still in their little celebration envelopes. Even found the coupon book she'd made me for Valentine's Day 3 years ago. Good for 1 back massage. Free pass to pick the movie. Breakfast in bed. Never used a single one because we always joked we'd save them for when we really needed them. By noon I had 27 boxes packed. But I wasn't done. I went through my phone. Screenshots of every sweet text she'd sent over the years talking about our future, our plans, the house we'd buy, the kids we'd have, the trips we'd take. Printed them all out on my crappy printer. 4 years of promises. 186 pages. Put that in a box too. Then I went through my closet again, found the memory box she'd made us keep. Ticket stubs, wristbands from festivals, pressed flowers from our first date, the cork from the wine bottle when she said I love you for the first time. Box number 35, the kitchen was last. The matching mugs with our initials. The apron that said kiss the cook she'd gotten as a joke. The expensive knife set she'd bought because I mentioned once that I liked cooking. The spice rack she'd organized with little labels. 40 boxes total. I loaded them all into my truck and the trailer I borrowed from Dennis. Drove to her parents' house where I knew she was staying. They lived in one of those suburban neighborhoods with long driveways. 4:30 p.m. I knew her dad would be at work. Her mom would be home. Natalie would probably be there too, working from home on her laptop, enjoying her space. I backed the trailer up to their driveway and started unloading, box by box, stacked them neat and organized, completely blocking the driveway from garage to street. 3 boxes wide, multiple rows deep. A wall of cardboard. On the very last box I taped a note. You wanted space. Here's everything that connected us. Now you have infinite space. Your non-existent ex. I was pulling away when I saw her mom come out the front door, mouth open in shock. My phone started ringing before I even turned the corner. Her mom declined. Then Natalie declined. Her mom again. This time I answered. What is the meaning of this? Her mom Deb screeched. Hi Deb. Natalie asked for space and for me to not exist for a while. I'm simply returning her belongings and giving her what she asked for. These aren't my belongings. This is all stuff I gave you. Natalie's voice in the background. Yeah, and they're reminders of you. You don't want me to exist, remember? Hard to not exist when your stuff is everywhere in my place. You're being ridiculous. Get back here and move these boxes. I can't get my car out. That sounds like a you problem. I don't exist, remember? Ghosts can't move boxes. I hung up. 47 missed calls by the time I got home. Yeah, I know specific number. I counted because it was funny. Texts from her, her mom, her sister Becca, her best friend Jenna. All variations of, you're being childish. This is petty. Move the boxes now. We're calling the police. You're insane. I responded to exactly none of them. She wanted space. She wanted me to not exist. I was just following instructions. Update 1, 2 days later. The entitlement started almost immediately. Day 1 after the Great Box Wall incident, I woke up to someone banging on my apartment door at 6 a.m. Through the peephole, Natalie's dad, Robert. Now Robert's a big dude, works construction. Always tried to intimidate me with his handshake when we first met. I opened the door but kept the chain on. You're going to move those boxes? Today. He said it like it was a fact. No, I'm not. Listen here, you little. Robert, those are gifts Natalie gave me. I'm returning them because she wants space. They're on your property now. Your problem. She's devastated. You humiliated her. She texted me to not exist. I'm actually not even having this conversation right now because I don't exist. His face went red. I'll move them myself and dump them on your doorstep. Please do. I'll call the police for illegal dumping. I have proof they're all items she gave me. I returned her property to her residence. What you do with them is your business. He actually raised his fist. I just stood there. Go ahead, Robert. Hit me. I'll press charges and you'll get arrested for assault. Great look for your construction business. He lowered his fist and stormed off. 2 hours later, the apartment management called. They'd received a complaint about abandoned property in my unit and hoarding behavior. Ma'am, I just did a massive declutter. My apartment is cleaner than it's been in years. The manager was confused but said she had to investigate. She came by, saw my spotless apartment, and left shaking her head. That afternoon, I got a text from an unknown number. Natalie's sister Becca, using someone else's phone. You need to know that Natalie only asked for space because she was confused. Kyle from her work has been pursuing her, and she needed time to think. You just pushed her right into his arms with this stunt. Kyle. From her work. The one she always said was annoying and wouldn't take a hint. So she needed space to figure out if she wanted to be with Kyle. Cool. Space granted. Permanently. I screenshotted that text. Didn't respond. Then came the social media explosion. Natalie posted this long thing about how some people can't handle mature communication, and when you ask for time to process trauma and get abused instead. Trauma? What trauma? We'd been fine. No fights, no issues. Unless considering Kyle's advances was traumatic. Her friends piled on, comments about toxic masculinity and emotional manipulation, and this is why women are scared to leave. To leave? She asked for space, not a breakup. But apparently now it was leaving? The narrative kept changing. My buddy Dennis screenshot everything and sent it to me. Bro, she's rewriting history. But here's where it gets good. Remember those 186 pages of text I printed out? Where she talked about our future? Our wedding plans? How she wanted to grow old with me? How she never felt so secure with anyone? I scanned them all, made a neat little PDF. Then I posted it on my social media with the caption, "Since we're sharing our truth, here's mine. 4 years of promises versus one text asking me to not exist." I gave her the space she wanted. Now I'm being called abusive for respecting her wishes. Make it make sense. The comments exploded. People who'd been attacking me started deleting their comments. Natalie's post disappeared within an hour. But she wasn't done. That evening around 8 p.m., police knocked on my door. 2 officers, looking tired and annoyed. "Sir, we got a call about stolen property?" I laughed. Actually laughed. "Officers, let me guess, about 40 boxes worth?" They exchanged glances. "Yes, actually." I showed them my phone, the photos I'd taken of every single gift before boxing them. Receipts she'd sent me over the years. "Look what I got you" texts. The original "I need space, don't exist" text. Her sister's text about Kyle. "So, she gave you these gifts, told you to not exist, and you returned the gifts to her?" Exactly. The older officer sighed. "Ma'am," he said into his radio, "the items were gifts given to him. He returned them to your property. This is a civil matter, not criminal. We're leaving." I heard screeching through the radio. The officers looked at each other with that, "We don't get paid enough for this" expression. After they left, I checked my security camera app. Natalie's car was outside, her sitting in it, waiting. For what? For me to come out and talk, to beg her to come back? She sat there for 2 hours. I made dinner, watched Netflix, lived my life. She wanted me to not exist, but here she was existing in my parking lot. Eventually she left. Update 2, 1 week later. The extinction burst. Yeah, I learned the term from Reddit, was spectacular. It started with the boxes still in their driveway. Apparently they'd tried to throw them away, but the garbage company wouldn't take that many. They'd have to make multiple trips to the dump, which cost money and effort. So the boxes just sat there, getting wet when it rained, neighbors starting to complain. Natalie showed up at my work. "The warehouse has strict security. You need a badge to get in." She stood at the gate for an hour, telling the security guard she was my girlfriend and there was an emergency. Gary, the guard, called me. "There's a woman here says she's your girlfriend?" "I don't have a girlfriend, Gary." "That's what I thought. She's making a scene, though." "That's unfortunate. If she doesn't leave, maybe call the actual police." She left when Gary started dialing. Then came the financial threats. See, over 4 years, Natalie had probably spent, I don't know, maybe $8,000 on gifts for me. She wanted it all back. Every penny. Sent me an itemized list through her friend Jenna's Instagram. Leather jacket, $600. Gaming headset, $300. Watch, $1,200. Coffee maker, $400. On and on. 47 items, there's that number again, so I'm not making it up. At the bottom, total owed, $8,047. Payment expected within 7 days or legal action will be taken. Legal action, right? I forwarded it to my cousin who's a paralegal. She laughed for 5 straight minutes. Gifts don't work that way. She'd get laughed out of court. But Natalie wasn't done. Oh no. This is where the real entitlement came out. She started calling my mom. My mom lives 3 states away. They'd met maybe 5 times total. But Natalie found her number and called her crying about how I was destroying her life and being vindictive, and how she just needed time to think. My mom, bless her, listened patiently. Then said, "Sweetheart, you told my son to not exist. He's simply honoring your request. What did you expect? That he'd wait around like a puppy while you figured out if you wanted someone else? It's not like that. I wasn't. I just needed space." Space from what? From a man who loved you, supported you, Helped you through your dad's surgery last year? That kind of space? Natalie hung up on my mom. My mom. The audacity. But the peak entitlement came that Thursday. I got home from work to find my apartment door slightly open. Lock wasn't broken, but the door was cracked. I carefully pushed it open. Everything was ransacked. Drawers pulled out, closets emptied, cushions flipped. At first I thought I'd been robbed. Then I noticed nothing valuable was missing. My TV, PlayStation, laptop, all still there. But other things were gone. The spare coffee maker from the pantry, not a gift from her, one I'd bought myself. Some of my hoodies she used to wear. My favorite mug that she'd claimed was ours. Random stuff that had no value except sentimental. I checked my security camera footage. There she was, 2 p.m., using her old key. Apparently I'd never changed the locks because I'm an idiot. Going through everything like a scavenger hunt, taking things that weren't even hers. I called the police immediately. Filed a report for breaking and entering. She wasn't a resident anymore, trespassing and theft. The officer who came was actually one from the previous week. Your ex again? Yep. You got footage? Crystal clear. He shook his head. Press charges? Absolutely. They arrested her that night. She was released on bail the next morning, Daddy Robert to the rescue, but the charges stuck. The prosecutor's office said it was clear-cut. She entered a residence she didn't live in without permission and stole items. Her lawyer, yeah, she actually got one, tried to argue she still had residency rights. But I had texts from her saying she'd moved out. Her forwarded mail, her change of address, the "I need space" text itself, basically admitting she'd left. Final update, 3 weeks later. The legal stuff moved faster than expected. Natalie's lawyer convinced her to take a plea deal, misdemeanor trespassing, probation, and a restraining order that went both ways. She couldn't contact me, I couldn't contact her. Perfect. The trash took itself out. But the aftermath? That's where the real entitlement showed. Her mom, Deb, started a campaign to destroy me. Called my employer claiming I was dangerous and unstable. HR had to investigate. I showed them everything. Texts, videos, police reports. They concluded I was the victim and warned that if the harassment continued, they'd pursue legal action against the caller. Robert tried the tough guy act one more time. Showed up at Dennis's house because he couldn't come to mine. Restraining order extends to family members acting on her behalf. Dennis is 6'4" and does MMA for fun. Robert left quickly. Natalie's friends launched a support campaign on social media, trying to raise money for her legal fees because she was abused and traumatized. It raised $127 before someone reported it for fraud and it got taken down. But here's the kicker. Becca, the sister, reached out through a mutual friend, not to apologize or anything reasonable. No, she wanted to know if I still had the coupon book because Natalie wanted it back for sentimental reasons. The coupon book that she made for me. As a gift. That was now evidence in a criminal case. I didn't respond. 2 weeks ago, I ran into Kyle at a gas station. Yeah, Kyle from her work. The one she needed space to think about. He looked uncomfortable, tried to walk past me. How's that working out for you? I asked. He stopped. Look, man, I didn't know you two were still together. We were living together. 4 years. She had her stuff at my place. She told me you were broken up, that you were stalking her, that she was scared of you. I showed him the "I need space" text, the date, the timeline. His face went pale. She moved in with me last week, told me you'd been abusive. That's why she needed somewhere safe to stay. Moved in? Already? Yeah, her and all her boxes. The boxes. She made Kyle deal with the 40 boxes of returned gifts. I couldn't help it. I laughed. Full-on belly laughed. Kyle looked confused, then angry, then defeated. She played me too, didn't she? Brother, she played herself. Found out later, small-town gossip, that Kyle kicked her out 3 days later when he found her texting another coworker about needing space to think about their relationship. Pattern of behavior. As for me, I'm doing okay. Not great, not terrible, just okay. 4 years is a long time to just write off. But you know what I have now? Space. Actual space. My apartment is mine. My time is mine. My hoodies are, well, those are gone. But I bought new ones. Changed my locks, finally. Deleted social media for a while. Started playing guitar again, something I'd stopped because Natalie said it was too loud. My mom calls weekly to check on me. Dennis and I started a bowling league. We're terrible, but who cares? My cousin the paralegal says Natalie's got no grounds to sue for anything, and if she tries, we'll counter-sue for harassment. The best part? The absolute best part? Last week the 40 boxes were still in Robert and Deb's driveway. Wet, moldy, falling apart. The HOA sent them a notice about unsightly property violations. $50 per day fine until removed. Natalie wanted space. I gave her exactly what she asked for. Plus 40 boxes of reminders that you can't just put people on pause while you shop around for something better. She texted from a friend's phone yesterday, "I hope you're happy ruining my life." I didn't respond. I don't exist, remember? And honestly, yeah, I'm getting there. Happy, I mean, it's a process. But at least it's my process in my space, on my terms. The leather jacket though? I do miss that jacket. It was really nice. She texted, "You forgot our anniversary again. I deserve someone who cares." I wrote, "You do." Then I showed her the calendar reminders I'd set for every date, including the one showing her ex's birthday she'd saved as dentist appointment. Her face when I asked about that cleaning. Original post I, 36 male. I'm sitting here with a glass of whiskey, still processing what went down last week. Been with Amanda, 33, for 4 years. Engaged for 1. The wedding was supposed to be in 3 months. Last Tuesday, I'm at work when my phone buzzes. Text from Amanda. "You forgot our anniversary again. 4 years together, and you can't even remember. I deserve someone who actually cares about me and pays attention." I stared at my phone, confused as hell. Our anniversary is March 15th. It was October 12th. I pulled up my calendar, the one she insisted we share so we could coordinate better. There it was, March 15th, anniversary, Amanda, with 3 reminder notifications set. But she was right about October 12th being significant. 4 years ago, on October 12th, we had our first coffee date. Not our anniversary, that was when we became official months later. But I'd learned she tracked every little milestone, so I had reminders for that too. First coffee date with Amanda. I texted back, "You do deserve someone who cares. Check our shared calendar." Radio silence for 20 minutes. Then, "Don't gaslight me. You obviously just added those." That's when something clicked. I'd been feeling off about things for weeks. Little inconsistencies. Work drinks that her coworkers didn't know about when I ran into them. Her phone constantly face down. The way she'd been picking fights over nothing. So I did something I'd never done before. I really looked at our shared calendar. Not just glanced, really examined it. And that's when I found them. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Dentist appointment. Cleaning. Who gets their teeth cleaned twice a week? I scrolled back. These appointments started 3 months ago, always 6 to 8 p.m. Always on days I had my bowling league or worked late. Then I noticed something else. November 2nd had a note. Dentist. Major procedure. Need ride home. November 2nd was also her ex-boyfriend Bradley's birthday. I knew this because 3 years ago, she'd cried about it, saying how hard it was that they'd been together 5 years, and she still remembered everything about him. My hands were shaking as I opened my laptop. Our credit card statements, she insisted on joint accounts for transparency. 3 months of charges, Tuesday and Thursday evenings. Restaurants, bars. 1 hotel charge on September 28th. A Thursday, dentist appointment when she texted me she'd be home late due to complications with the numbing. I screenshot everything, the calendar, the charges, the timestamps, everything. Then I did something petty, maybe stupid, but I was pissed. I created a new calendar event for that evening. Show Amanda the evidence, 7 p.m. Set 5 reminder notifications. Update 1. She came home around 6:30, ready for war. Started ranting the moment she walked in about how I'm emotionally unavailable and neglectful and how her mom was right about me. I let her go on. Even made myself a sandwich while she listed my failures as a partner. When she finally ran out of steam, I opened my laptop. "Interesting thing about shared calendars," I said. "They show edit history." Her face went white. I turned the screen toward her. Every single anniversary, birthday, and special date has been in this calendar for 2 years. See the created by tags? All me. See the last modified dates? Months ago. She tried to interrupt, but I kept going. "But these dentist appointments are interesting. All created by you, all on days I'm busy. And wow, your dental insurance must be amazing, because our credit card shows charges for restaurants on every single appointment date." I sometimes grab food after. The Riverside Inn? That's 40 minutes from your dentist, but only 5 minutes from Bradley's apartment. The silence was deafening. Nathan, November 2nd. Major procedure requiring a ride home. Also, Bradley's birthday. Want to explain that? She burst into tears. But not sad tears, angry tears. You spied on me? I looked at our shared calendar and our joint accounts. You know, the ones you insisted on for transparency. Then came the justifications. Oh boy, the entitlement started flowing. You're never romantic anymore. I had flowers delivered to her office last week. You don't make me feel special. I planned a surprise weekend trip for her birthday. Bradley understands me. Bradley who cheated on her with her best friend. It's not physical. We're just reconnecting. Hotel charge says otherwise. You drove me to this. Classic. I let her rant, then said, you're right. You do deserve someone who cares about you the way you need. Bradley seems perfect. You should be with him. She stopped mid-sob. What? I'm done. You want someone who remembers anniversaries? I remember them all. I just don't remember the imaginary ones you create to start fights. Get out. You can't kick me out. I live here. Check the lease. My name only. You're a month-to-month tenant at best. You've got 30 days. The entitlement explosion was spectacular. She called her mom, who called me screaming about how I was abandoning her daughter and ruining her life and a real man would fight for the relationship. I hung up. Update 2. The next 48 hours were insane. First, Amanda tried the guilt approach. Showed up at my office with tears and apologies. Security wouldn't let her pass the lobby, thank God for badge-only access. She made enough of a scene that my boss asked if I needed a few days off. I said no. Work was the only normal thing in my life. Then came the anger. She went on social media with a carefully crafted story about how I was controlling and monitored her every move and accused her of cheating with no evidence. Mutual friends started reaching out. I had the receipts ready. Posted one thing. Interesting how someone can have 47 dentist appointments in 3 months, all at restaurants, including one at a hotel. Also fascinating how these appointments line up perfectly with her ex's free evenings. But sure, I'm the controlling one for noticing. Attached 3 screenshots, the calendar pattern, 1 credit card statement, and her own text admitting she'd been reconnecting with Bradley. The tide turned immediately. Her friends started calling her out. Turns out, I wasn't the only one who'd noticed things. Her coworker Melissa commented, "This explains why you kept canceling girls' nights to go home to Nathan, but your car was never there." But the real entitlement came Thursday. I got home to find the locks changed. Yeah, she changed the locks on my apartment. The locksmith was still there. Nice guy named Tony. He looked uncomfortable as hell. "Hey man," he said, "the lady said she owned this place, showed me a utility bill with her name." I pulled out my lease, my ID, and my mortgage documents. "Did I mention I own this place?" Tony went pale. "Oh shit, man, I'm so sorry. I can change them back." "How much did she pay you?" $300. "I'll pay you $400 to change them back right now and give me all copies of the new keys." Amanda came out of the apartment wearing my robe. "My robe? What are you doing here?" she demanded. Tony looked at her. "Lady, you said you own this place." "I live here. That makes it mine too." That's not how property law works," Tony said, already pulling out his tools. She tried to stop him, actually put her hands on his toolbox. Tony looked at me, then at her, then pulled out his phone. "I'm calling the cops. This is getting weird." Amanda panicked. "No, don't. I'll leave." She grabbed her purse and stormed past me. "This isn't over." "Actually, it is. Your 30 days notice starts today. Get your stuff out." Tony finished the lock change, gave me all 6 copies of the new keys, and refused the extra $100 I tried to tip him. "Nah man, that was messed up. Good luck." Update 3 Friday morning, 7 a.m. Knock on my door. Not Amanda. Worse. Bradley. This walking red flag stood there in his gym clothes, trying to look intimidating. Bradley's maybe 5'8", 150 pounds soaking wet. I'm 6'1", 200 and boxed in college. "We need to talk, bro." "No, we don't. You're making Amanda's life hell." I actually laughed. "I'm gonna work. Move. She loves me, you know, always has. You were just a placeholder." I stopped. "Cool, she's all yours. Her stuff will be in boxes on the curb in 30 days. You can help her move." His face fell. "Wait, what? You won, right? You got her? Congrats, hope you have room at your place. I have roommates. Sounds like a you problem. I started walking past him. He grabbed my arm. Bad move. Touch me again and we're gonna have a problem. He let go immediately. She said you'd pay for an apartment for her. I turned around slowly. She said what? She said you'd feel guilty and set her up with a place, that you always cave when she cries. Bradley, my dude, you've been played. She's your problem now. Enjoy the twice-weekly dental appointments. The look of realization on his face was beautiful. He knew exactly what I meant. That afternoon, Amanda's mom showed up. Dolores, this woman is entitlement incarnate. Drives a Mercedes she can't afford, lives in a house her ex-husband pays for, and treats service workers like garbage. You will take my daughter back, she announced. No, she made a mistake. She made dozens of mistakes every Tuesday and Thursday for 3 months. Bradley means nothing. You're her future. I was her meal ticket. There's a difference. Dolores pulled out her phone. I'm calling your mother. Go ahead. She already knows. That was true. I'd called my mom Thursday night. Her response? Finally, I never liked that girl, too much like her mother. Dolores huffed. We'll sue you for emotional distress. For what? Breaking up with a cheater? She's not a cheater. They were just talking. In a hotel room? That's not. Dolores, get off my property. She left, but not before keying my car in the parking garage, on camera, with her license plate visible. Some people's kids, I swear. Update for Saturday was when Amanda went nuclear. She couldn't accept that her manipulation wasn't working, so she called my employer, told them I was harassing her and stalking her and that she feared for her safety. My boss called me into his office Monday morning. I thought I was screwed. Instead, he slides a folder across his desk. Amanda called HR, made some serious accusations. My stomach dropped. However, he continued, she also sent emails from her work account to someone named Bradley during work hours. Extremely graphic emails. IT flagged them months ago. We were waiting to see if it affected her performance. He showed me one email timestamp. Middle of a Tuesday when she told me she was in a big meeting. The email was, yeah, not about quarterly reports. We're terminating her employment, but I wanted you to know she tried to drag you into this. We have your keycard logs. You were here every time she claims you were harassing her. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Plot twist. I didn't see coming, but Amanda wasn't done. Tuesday afternoon, I get a call from my bank. Someone tried to transfer $5,000 from my savings to an account I didn't recognize. The bank flagged it because it was a new recipient and large amount. How? She had my password from 2 years ago when I had the flu and asked her to pay my credit card bill. I'd never changed it because I trusted her. Changed every password I had that day. Every single one. Then I got petty. Remember those dentist appointments? I sent a copy of the calendar to her actual dentist's office with a note. My ex-girlfriend used appointments at your office as cover for an affair. Thought you should know in case there are any insurance discrepancies. They called me back. She'd been billing our insurance for cleanings she never got. Insurance fraud. They were reporting it. Wednesday, the truth bomb dropped. Bradley texted me. First time we'd communicated directly since Friday. Need to tell you something. Amanda's been with 3 other guys besides me. I called him immediately. What? Dude, she's been playing everyone. I just found out she's been seeing my roommate too, and some guy from her gym, and another dude she met on a dating app. We were all appointments in her calendar. You're kidding. Dentist, physical therapy, yoga, and book club. All fake. All dudes. He sent screenshots. Different guys texting her about their special connection and how they couldn't wait until she left her abusive boyfriend. I forwarded everything to her mom with one message. Your daughter needs therapy, not a relationship. Final update. It's been a month since everything exploded. Time for the final update. Amanda's world collapsed like a house of cards. First, the job. She was fired for misuse of company resources and time theft. All those meetings that were actually Bradley dates. She tried to file for unemployment. The company contested with documentation. Denied. Then, the insurance fraud investigation. Turns out billing for services you don't receive is a felony when it crosses a certain amount. She'd hit that amount. They offered her a deal. Pay back everything plus penalties, or they press charges. Guess who called begging for money? Her mom, of course. Dolores showed up at my door with actual tears, probably fake, but still. She's facing jail time. You have to help. No, I don't. You loved her? I loved who I thought she was. That person doesn't exist. Please, I'll pay you back. Dolores, you still owe your ex-husband 40 grand. You're not paying anyone back. She left, but not before trying one last manipulation. She's pregnant. I laughed. Actually laughed. No, she's not. How do you know? Because she had her tubes tied 2 years ago, said kids would ruin her body. I was there for the procedure. Dolores's face was priceless. She didn't know about that. Bradley, meanwhile, found out the hard way what dating Amanda really meant. She moved in with him. His roommates were thrilled, as you can imagine. Within a week, she'd maxed out his credit card, crashed his car, no insurance, of course, cheated on him with his roommate, the same one she'd been seeing before, stolen his laptop and sold it. He texted me, "I'm sorry, you tried to warn me." I didn't respond. Not my circus anymore. The other guys, they all found out about each other. The gym guy posted about it on social media. The dating app dude turned out to be married. Yeah, she knew. His wife found out. That got messy. Physical therapy guy was actually her physical therapist. He lost his license. But the final karma came last week. Remember those calendar reminders I set? Well, I'd set one more that I forgot about. It was for our wedding venue. Final payment due. Except I'd canceled the venue months ago when things started feeling off. Got most of my deposit back. But Amanda didn't know that. She showed up at the venue with Dolores and her sister for what she thought was her final wedding planning meeting. Posted about it on Instagram, finally planning my dream day. The venue coordinator called me, confused. Your ex-fiancé is here claiming you're getting married next month? We broke up over a month ago. I canceled everything. She's making quite a scene. Should we call security? Is she wearing a wedding dress? Yes. Get video, then call security. The video went viral in our social circle. Her in a wedding dress, crying and screaming that I stole her dream wedding while security escorted her out. Someone set it to music. It's been viewed about 10,000 times. Her reputation is destroyed. She can't get a job in her field because everyone knows about the insurance fraud. She can't date because everyone knows about the multiple guys. She can't even go to her gym anymore because gym guy's wife is a member too. Last I heard, she moved back with her mom. They deserve each other. Bradley sends me apology texts weekly. I don't respond. The dentist office sent me a thank you card for catching the fraud. Weird, but appreciated. My mom set me up on a blind date with her friend's daughter. She's nice. Normal. Has only one dentist appointment per year. We're taking it slow. Very slow. And she understands why. Oh, and I kept the calendar screenshots. Every single one. Including the edit history showing how she added that October 12th anniversary, the morning she sent that text, trying to create a fight out of nothing. Turns out, I didn't forget our anniversary. She just invented a new one to justify an affair she was already having. The entitlement to think I'd never check the very calendar she insisted we share? That's next level. I'm doing better now. Therapy helps. Trust issues are real, but I'm working on them. The apartment feels like mine again. I even got a new couch. The old one had too many memories. To everyone who reached out with support, thank you. It meant more than you know. To Amanda, if you're reading this, and I know you are because you still cyberstalk me, Bradley's roommate called. He wants his PlayStation back. Also, your dentist called. You missed your appointment. Actually, no, you didn't. For once, you were exactly where everyone expected you to be, facing the consequences of your own entitlement. Funny how that works.